What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28. That's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Don't forget to also follow all the guys, the official ITG. You can follow the whole team over there. Scott, what's happening today? Dude, it's almost Friday.
Well,
man,
I was just describing. I've been humbled by a small title. Everybody's really excited about it, myself included. But I cannot get past the Golem in Tunic. I'm working on it. We'll see how that goes. I played Dark Souls. Come on,
dude. Let me ask you then. Let me ask you this, because I've been looking at Tunic, and I think the game looks great. Have you played Death's Door?
No, I have that downloaded as well. I'm ready to try that one, but
it reminds me of that, right? Do you think I would enjoy Tunic?
I think you would, because it's such a nice, calm kind of experience.
Yeah.
There's really only this boss fight that has held me up so far. A little bit of some puzzling going on, but I like that kind of stuff.
All right. I like puzzles, man. I'm a big puzzle guy. That's my kind of style. I like that. That and stealth. So, all right. I have it downloaded. I'm going to have to give it a go. Maybe I'll try it tonight. I'll report back tomorrow, everybody. But who's going to report in right now? This is our good friends over at Coming House Toronto with Main Mission. It's the ultimate Easter egg, a streaming campaign like no other, a mission with the goal to change lives in real life. I challenge you to join me on the Main Mission, a charity stream campaign to raise funds for Covenant House. From March 7th to April 1st, we welcome everyone to join this fundraising mission to benefit youth who are homeless, trafficked, or at risk. The campaign will feature prizes, giveaways, and big surprises. And on April 2nd, we join forces with some of the biggest content creators and gamers to raise maximum funds. Help us change the game. Can we count you in? That's right, on April 2nd, we'll be live at noon Eastern over on twitch.tv/CovenantHouseTO. There, you can join us for 12 hours. We got some fantastic prizes and streamers to join us. Good friends over at Digital Extremes. We'll be back this year again, Scott, with Warframe.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I liked seeing some Warframe last time.
Dude, that game
is really not familiar with that game.
It's a fast-paced game. It really throws me off. I got to be honest. It really does kind of send me for a loop. But you can join us live right now over on twitch.tv/theofficialitg, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside thegame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, today's show, Ubisoft is a busy developer and fans looking forward to their version of Star Wars. We'll have to wait a few more years. Activision Blizzard launches their new program, Level Up U, and another game gets delayed until next year. Dun, dun, dun.
All too common in the news these days, but
yes, isn't it? Who's got some guesses? Everybody hit us up in Twitch chat, YouTube chat. Let us know if you got a guess what game is delayed, or maybe you actually know, because, well, we do. So, Scott, let's get into it.
Maybe just your guesses for the future. What's going to be delayed next week? We'll see how that goes.
That's right. What else is getting delayed? I think we kind of predicted this one, Scott, but I could be wrong. I don't think we are, though. But Ubisoft's Star Wars game won't release until 2025 at earliest, claims an insider. This is Michael over at PSU. Ubisoft's massive upcoming Star Wars project is unlikely to see the light of day until 2025 at the earliest, according to reliable tipster Tom Henderson on Twitter. Henderson touched base on the Star Wars game in a piece describing Ubisoft's upcoming slate on Xfire, which, as previously reported, includes a sequel. Dude, Immortals, Phoenix Rising. Yes, that game is fantastic. Everybody, skip the last DLC on that one. That is not what Phoenix is all about. That was a weird twist, but it's exciting to see that's coming in the works. But let's get on to the topic of, quote, I didn't include Ubisoft Star Wars game here because I think that's probably the furthest title from release, and we're probably looking at 2025 at the earliest for it, end quote. That comes from Tom over on Twitter. Scott, were you that surprised?
No, not particularly. We knew this is just kind of an idea on the concept boards at the current time, so even if you put all hands on deck, it's still going to be several years out. And if you want the quality, it should be several years out.
Well, I think that's just it, right? Like, we weren't expecting too much here. We don't have an actual date set in stone which we're fine with. I don't mind that at all. I don't need that date right now, as long as they don't give us a date and then cancel that date, right? Like reschedule that date, because how many times we see that lately?
Much more painful.
Well, that's just it. It just doesn't seem to work, and it delays everything, which is a bit of a headache. And we don't like that. Nobody likes getting all that kind of stuff confirmed and then delayed. That's the biggest issue moving forward into today's, lineup and list of games on how that all works and comes together for us. But dude, what else they're working on too right now is a rumor of the Prince of Persia game. Like, so we already know they're working on a remake, right? I think that's one of the biggest highlights too, is we're getting a Prince of Persia remake of Sands of Time. And that was, it's exciting to hear about that one coming in around. They went back to the drawing board though, after kind of showing some footage and getting some feedback from the fans going, hey, this isn't exactly kind of living up to par with what everybody else is kind of looking forward to, right? That's the biggest thing for me. Now, when do you think we're going to see the new Prince of Persia remake game? And on top of that, when do you think we get a new Prince of Persia game?
The remake I would expect just a little bit before a brand new one. And likely just to spike some hype and kind of test the waters a little bit.
Sure.
But I would guess 2024. I think it's still quite a while away. And the next one I think could be 2025, 2026, depending on the size of the studio working on that. I'm not completely sure that it's, an entire division put towards that game, but it's going to be so exciting for me to play because I haven't played Sands of Time since I think I was actually 10 years old.
Yeah, like that was dude, when did that game initially release? Any idea?
I want to say like 2000 well, if I was 10 years old, that would have been 2002. So I almost said 2010. I'm not that young.
now I gotta know. I'm looking it up as we speak. Hang on, let me see if I can find that actual release date. Oh, I went to the movies. Come on, what are you gonna do that for?
Does anybody go to those movies?
Well,
2003.
Actually, you know what? I didn't. Did you watch the movie? I watched the movie. I didn't mind it. It was a lot better than the Assassin's Creed movie.
I haven't watched the Assassin's Creed one yet to know, but I was really into the Prince of Persia movie until they started shooting arrows into the wall. Do you remember that?
Yeah, dude. Okay, so you ready for this? Bad. The original Sands of Time released back in 2003. I knew it was old.
So I may have been about 12 years old.
Yeah, I remember playing that. I love that game. Did you play a sequel at all?
I had seen one of them played. I think it was number 2. Could have been number 3. The one where it was the dark versus light. Oh,
I think that might have been 3. See, I played the first one.
The intro to it.
Yeah, I played the first one, loved the first one, and then I felt like the second and third just took a whole other direction for the game, and I didn't play them much at all. I don't remember playing 3 at all.
People don't realize about Prince of Persia and the attachment to Assassin's Creed.
I do.
Prince of Persia was the very first one to kind of have that multiple enemy attack pattern, the kind of like dancing around with the different timing of attacks and combos. And that's really, I think, what started that whole idea for Assassin's Creed. And it works beautifully.
Well, yeah, that's just it, right? If it wasn't for Prince of Persia, we wouldn't have Assassin's Creed. That's where that whole series kind of spawned off from, like you say, right? It was cool. But yeah, new Star Wars game, not likely to come until at least 2025. Dude, at best, we'll probably see a teaser in 2025 and see it in 2026. Just the way that goes. But let's move into the world.
That's okay. We do need games beyond this year.
Well, absolutely.
We don't need them for a little while, but we'll need them eventually.
Man, I'm loaded for games right now. Activision Blizzard launches Level Up You initiative. It comes from Brendan Sinclair of GamesIndustry.biz. In the wake of multiple government lawsuits alleging gender discrimination, Activision Blizzard last October pledged to invest $250 million to accelerate opportunities for diverse talent over the next decade. Today, it announced the first major part of that investment in the Level Up You program. The first iteration of the 3-month program, quote, is designed to teach participants the basics of game development and ultimately prepare them for engineering roles within the company, end quote, with classroom work, guest speakers, mentors. Participants will have travel and lodging expenses covered, and Activision Blizzard is also offering compensation and benefits over the course of the program. Scott,
wow,
it's that's quite the quite the initiative that they're starting to kick off with. It gets people ready, but I think they got a lot of goodwill to bring back into the company, and this might be that's the start of that program, right? What are your thoughts on the program?
They have quite an uphill battle to kind of reclaim their name, and rightfully so. But this is at least a very good indication that they're putting their money where their mouth was, and that's really the only way you can build your way out of this. Change policy, but also demonstrate the policy. So I think this is a very good first step.
I think so. I think it goes a long way saying how they're going to get started. $250 million is a lot to invest into that program, and it's definitely worthwhile, especially with the situation going on right now with Activision Blizzard transforming over into Microsoft, and seeing how that all lines up. But again, they're still staying as separate companies. But either way, dude, it's the program that counts. Get people in there and on good terms. Get the jerks out of there that don't belong there. I think that's the biggest goal, right? Get those people out of there. They're not needed. We can name off a couple, but from there, Scott, it's really about...
We'll leave that to Greg Miller.
Yeah, I think he had it covered. I think what we'll do is, what they need to do is really show the goodwill of the company and how they can be one of the number one companies that people can rely on to go to work and be appreciated and build good games, right? That's everybody just wants a good game. Everybody wants to go to work and enjoy and not feel that discrimination that they've been getting there for what it sounds like a couple decades, honestly, right?
It boggles the mind how that even started, how it continued, but there really is no reason for it to have that corporate culture. There's no reason. And this company can be good again. So I want to have an open mind when it comes to Blizzard.
Yeah. Now, Scott, I want you to do me a favor. Jump onto our Discord right now if you can. Are you able to do that?
Yeah.
Go back to, I believe, yesterday's comment from Nate, because I want to pull Nate into this conversation. He's not here to defend himself, but we're gonna come over the coals anyways. This one comes with no big surprise. Scott, you ready? We made the difficult decision to delay Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League to spring 2023. I know a delay is frustrating, but the time is going into making the best game we can. I look forward to bringing the chaos to Metropolis together. Thanks for your patience. This comes from Stefan Hill over on Twitter, explaining once again another game is delayed. But Nate had a couple comments yesterday. Scott, are you able to read those for us?
I'm looking, but we have a very busy Discord action from yesterday, so I'm not certain if I know where to start. But
that's fair.
He begins with, "I don't like seeing delays. I can't stand it anymore." Is that kind of the...
That's where it started, right? And where Stefan is actually saying is they get this frustration, right? It is frustrating as fans of games to get into this realm. The problem is, Scott, dude, how many times we get into this realm of, okay, here's a game and then delayed. Here's the game. Nope, delayed again. Here's the game. If you're not ready, then just don't give us a date.
Yeah,
like I don't understand why they keep giving us dates and more dates and more dates, and then they keep pushing and keep pushing. Obviously, you got some bugs and stuff you got to work out, and I appreciate, dude, a good game is a great game, right? Like I don't want the bugs. I don't need to deal with the frustration of that. When a consumer pays for that game, they shouldn't have to deal with all those bugs and the issues that we see a lot of still to this day when we get a brand new game. Day one patch every game, Scott.
Oh yeah. Oh, and now it's like a season one of fixing is kind of the next step that it's become. And it's to the point where I can't get excited about a new announcement without knowing certain things. Like, okay, do they have a date? That's step number one. Is the date feasible? That's step number two. And you kind of predict, is the game complicated? You know, if I see anything about Beyond Good and Evil 2, how much are you going to believe that?
Well, yeah, right? Because how long ago was that announced? And then Skull and Bones is another prime example of how many times we've seen that game. Where did that game go? Now, there's also a lot of talk right now going on about Ubisoft hosting an event to kind of break that down and gives a kind of an update on what's going on in those games and more, which is like something like 20 games they have to showcase.
Yeah, I think it was about 20.
So that's cool. But I got no problem waiting. Just don't put the date on it, right? Is there a fear, Scott, now just announcing something too soon? Do they try to announce before it gets leaked, right? I think that's one of the other things too.
That's true.
How many leaks have we seen?
You don't want to let the steam out of the bag like that. Just
not at all
calculated, because somebody really calculates when to make these announcements.
Yep.
it really just sours the whole industry when you can't make the dates. And we've talked about it actually. Do you think it's investors? Do you think it's kind of leaking is an interesting idea because that could just let it out regardless?
Well, that's frustrating. I
But
think one of the best companies around who deal with the leaks themselves is Rockstar. Honestly, like Rockstar doesn't leak anything practically. Like, you know what I mean? One of the worst is Ubisoft. Ubisoft leaks everything, which is just mind blowing, right? You want to build that hype up, and you have, it's like that first impression, right? First impressions go a long way. And when you get that first impression of announcing your game, dude, if you're working on Suicide Squad, you can't wait to announce, hey, I'm working on this. Check this out. If you're at Naughty Dog, you can't wait to announce that you're actually working on The Last of Us Part 3 or the next Uncharted game or whatever else they have cooked up over there, right? Because it's kind of one of those things. Dude, that's a big mic drop moment. And you want to be able to go on stage and go, boom, there it is. And then walk off and let everybody else just go, wow. Like, you know, right? You want that impact of a moment when you're able to announce that game. You can announce it. Like, it's funny because a lot of us, we get compared to the movie industry a lot. But the movie industry doesn't hide anything. That's the thing. They go, hey, we're working on this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And that's it. And then when it's ready, I don't hear about the movie got delayed. Like, do you ever hear about a movie getting delayed? I don't hear about that happening very often. But video games,
I don't think I've heard of that ever.
Get delayed every other day, right? That's
I thought about one. I know. I mentioned it yesterday, I believe. Avatar. Wasn't there supposed to be another Avatar movie by now?
That's a good point.
3D didn't work out so well, so they just scrapped it. I don't know.
Yeah. Now it's 4D. You're gonna get wet too. So yeah, it's oh man, I get the delays. Like, they make a lot of sense. You gotta delay the game to make sure it's done right, and that's always the biggest focus. But it does definitely weigh on the patience of the consumer who's so excited when you did announce that game and a date. Just don't delay, just don't announce the date and we won't have to worry about it. Just say, hey guys, this is what we're working on. We'll have more when we have the ability to tell you about it, right? That kind of situation.
I really liked the God of War Ragnarok team when they said it's ready when it's ready.
That's just
that was the best, most clearest message I've heard in that regard.
Or do the other one where it's like the Fallout 4 situation, out in 6 months, done.
Oh yeah,
right. It's one of those opportunities that you can have where you have such a, oh man, it's like coming up that soon, boom, and then everybody's on board. You don't lose that mind share, and it stays with you, sticks around, and then you're in for that game, and it releases when it's supposed to because you're already at the finishing stages of that game. But
yeah,
either way, Scott,
they can't all be stealth drops. As much as I enjoy this,
I do enjoy a good stealth drop. But let's get into a wicked game. A Plague Tale Requiem trophy list and potential release date revealed. Let's go from David over at PSU. We've known that A Plague Tale Requiem is going to release sometime in 2022 for some time now, though we've still not yet gotten an official release date. This isn't necessarily a bad thing though, Scott, right? We just talked about this. With the reveal of the trophy list, however, website Power Picks also noted that PSN Store's database has a release date of May 17th, 2022, which could very well be the game's impending launch. Scott, that is not that far away. We haven't seen really much on this game at all. You want to talk about a stealth drop? That would be a stealth drop right there. Isn't that a little much?
Pretty close to one. Well, and I'm thinking, how much validity does this PlayStation Store information have? And that's probably a very good source. But I think back to Halo, and I think somebody had discovered that through the Halo or the Xbox Marketplace December 8th, and that turned out to be true. So I'm not seeing too much of a reason to doubt this information. And that is exciting because when was the last Plague Tale game?
I want to say 3 years ago. Might have been when that was released. You know, it was funny. It was one of those games that my wife beat, Nate's wife beat, and it was one of those, wow, like it was. Yeah, it had such an impact on our significant others. 2019, May 14, 2019 is when it came out.
Wow, really? I thought it was much further back than that.
That's quick, right?
I joined the team in 2019, and I thought it was already an older game by then.
Yeah, no, and it was, dude, what a great game. Like, it was so well done. The story was impactful, the characters are memorable, like everything there had a gripping aspect to that game. The stealth was awesome. And dude, I didn't even play the game, Scott. That's the thing. I sat back and watched my wife play the game and finish the game, and I was just like, whoa, man. So now I want to get into the second one. We'll be doing getting into the second one for sure, Scott. But I'm looking forward to that sometime. Is it really, do you really think it's going to be in May? May's not that far away, and we haven't heard anything about it. That's my biggest question.
Yeah, that's a little bit strange. I would have expected to see some sort of a tech demo at least.
Yeah.
Because this game looks beautiful. You know they're going to try and showcase that. But
absolutely.
Well, is there enough time really between now and then? Does this leak kind of force their hand? Maybe
sometimes
now is when we start seeing the marketing come out.
Well, that's just it, right? Like you say, is it now when you start to see it? Because all of a sudden it's been revealed. And it wasn't by them, right? It wasn't by the team, the developers themselves. And that always hurts when you see somebody else reveal your game and it wasn't you, because you have your lineup scheduled. Okay, marketing is going to start on this day and we're going to get into this realm and then we're going to showcase this. But when it starts getting out ahead of that, you're like, now what? Right? That just throws everything off. So I wonder if there's a bit of a panic over there with the team right now going, hey, this is out there. Do we need to say anything? Do we not say anything? Do they just stay quiet, Scott, and not even worry about it?
As long as they're ready to release on May 17th, then I think everything's going to be okay. But
Sure.
What a nightmare that would be if they realize,
oh
no, we need to delay, but the cat's already out of the bag. Oh.
Yeah, that sucks. That does suck for sure. Scott, I do want to get into one particular game that's free this weekend. You ready? Because it's free. Weekends are better with friends. Celebrate the first free weekend and the launch of the new Stranger Things mission by inviting a friend to play the full game with you in co-op. None other than Far Cry 6, Scott. Have you played it yet?
Yeah, I have not played it. So if anybody wants to throw me one of those invites and we play co-op, I am absolutely in.
Dude, I'll download it. I'll download it today. And we'll get in. I'm down for that. Like what a
cool.
fantastic game. It's such a great
I'm
time.
Wondering, how are they going to include Stranger Things into it, though? How do you make that work?
So it's a Stranger Things mission. I instantly went there as well with Stranger Things. Went, are you cross promoting here somehow, or is it's just the mission? It says, but
I hope it has Hopper in it.
We will take a look. But yeah, starting, you can actually preload the game starting. Dude, where did the date go?
Yeah, I think Friday.
Is it Friday? I see the time at 3 p.m. Eastern. So 3 p.m. Eastern, whenever you can find the day. I think Scott thinks it's Friday, so we'll go with that. Scott, we do have another game announcement today, though, buddy. What do we have?
We have the MX versus ATV Legends has been announced. It will be on PlayStation 5, Xbox X and S, and PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It is said to release on May 24th. Now, we're talking about delays being the theme here, so yeah, that is pretty close. We'll see how it stands there, but this is, well, another MX versus ATV game. I haven't played one of those in years, but
I was going to ask.
Really fun back in the day.
So you did play these back in the day, right?
Yeah, I believe
nice.
I had a friend that had it on PS2, and he used to do the old PS2 trick where you start the game and then you can open up the case and take the game home and it still plays. So I rented it off of him, if you want to say that, for weeks at a time.
I saw you just added this, dude. I missed it. I don't know how, but I missed it. Go ahead.
I'm going to miss it, unfortunately, because I don't have Paramount Plus. Yep. But if you do, the Halo live action series begins today. And awesome. I'm very excited to hear about that. Hopefully not in the form of spoilers. But
yeah, we'll have to talk to Kyle. Kyle's got it.
Yeah.
We have two games.
We have two full releases today. Yeah. A Memoir Blue on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, XS, Switch, and PC. And The Ascent makes its way to PlayStation now on PlayStation 4 and 5.
Awesome. Dude, that's one heck of a day. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficial_ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But we also know you catch us over on those OTT platforms around the world. But you can also check us out at InsideTheGame.ca. This has been our show for today. I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you tomorrow inside the game.